Welcome back to Hasbro's Hide. Going to take a look today at a new Micro Prism Optics from Primary Arms. This is their SLX Micro Prism Optic, and it's specifically with the ACSS reticle with a chevron or outer circle and then a bullet drop compensator. And this BDC is based on 762x39 or 300 blackout. So we're going to shoot our 300 blackout. It's been on the channel, but I haven't shot it hardly at all. It's got less than 100 rounds to it. And so we're going to use it for the basis to see how well the BDC works. Of course, if you know about BDCs, built-in markings for drops at given distances, well, it's based on a given velocity and a given bullet weight and given type of bullet, right? So you change those and your impact's going to change. But nonetheless, we'll see how how accurate it is to guide our shooting. Really useful just for fast transitions between targets and things like that. But we'll just see, this idea, will it be close? The ammo we're going to shoot in our 300 blackout will be some PPU, 125 grain, and it's just over 2,100 feet per second. And so we'll look at that and use that. It's pretty close to an average AK round, which is going to be typically 21 to 2,300 with a 123 grain bullet. And so we'll see how well they do, and they should match up pretty well. And we'll just check that, because it's just one more thing to see how well it does. Anyway, let's take a look at the optic itself. All right, we've got it out of its box now, and I want to do a little bit of a quick comparison. Here it is compared to a SIG Romeo, which is on our rifle now. So you can see overall, it's about the same size, overall size here in this part of the body. But this cantilever mount then moves it forward. So you can adjust the height of the cantilever, and then of course you can move it on the rail to move it close to your eye. You have to get a little closer with this objective than some, just because of the way that prism works. When you look through it, extremely clear. I mean, really clear glass. And so you can't see that here on the screen, but we'll take it outside and do some shooting, but we won't even be able to see it then, I think, but we'll try it on the camera. But it's extremely clear glass, and that's to be expected. It's also, though, illuminated. And so it has 13 different positions on the illumination here. And that's fine, but honestly, the top the top power or levels 11, 12, 13 are almost too bright. And I'll give you an idea here. You can see now the chevron and all that in the view. And it's, it does illuminate it really nicely and cleanly. It's just when you get to the really bright greens like that, it kind of is too much for my eyes. And maybe it won't be for yours, who knows. But it certainly, you can turn it on down, and that's just a really, really nice feature to have in there, because it really can clean it up, especially against a dark target or in the evenings or early mornings, that kind of thing. It's very, very useful to have. Here's the Picatinny rail is built into it, the adapter is built into it, and so that'll make it really easy. We can just drop it on here. Now, due to YouTube's stupid rules, I can't show you loosening these bolts, spreading the clamp, dropping it in between, and tightening it up. That's dangerous. It's like crazy. And sorry, a little bit of commentary, but it's just stupid rules. Anyway, so I'll take this off camera. We'll put this on, and we'll have another video about range day using this thing as well. But we're going to put it onto, of course, our 300 blackout and check our bullet drop as well. Now, this thing is supposed to be 8 ounces. That's about what it is. That's more than the SIG Romeo, but it has heavier glass and different types of mechanism in it. It does come with different cantilever rails, and so you can lower it or raise it based on what you'd like to run here. And so these are all interchangeable with that, so you can adjust the height of it, and of course, like this, the height of it, and then you can move it back and forth quite a bit on the rail. It has a little closer eye relief than like this and a normal red dot would, so you need to have a little bit closer to your eyes, and therefore it's offset back to you. But again, that glass is super clear and very, very nice. It comes with a cleaning cloth, okay, manuals, that's all fine, and it also comes with thread locker. So that's nice to have. It's red, although it is adjustable, so it's semi-permanent. I use almost all Loctite, and semi-permanent generally is blue there. But here it's red and it's semi-permanent, so you don't have to go hunting for it. It's all right there. Of course, it comes with a battery all ready to go in here, so that's nice. But then also the external adjustments are really interesting on this. They're external, no caps, so they're sealed. But on this red dot, it's got 80 MOA adjustment. That's a lot of red dot. On this prism optic, it's got 80 MOA adjustment. What's really nice is they're quarter MOA clicks. So that's really nice to have if you're trying to dial in precision. And then this being a 3x optic, you have a little more magnification and chance for dialing in something like that a bit more precise than you would just a straight red dot. So anyway, I thought you might see this. It's pretty cool. As I mentioned, it's shorter eye relief. Eye relief is 2.7 inches. So from here back 2.7, so it'd be roughly right there. So you can get comfortable with that. You'll want it pretty far back on your AR platform if that's what you're putting them on. But it's certainly fine from what I've been seeing holding in my hand. But we'll get it mounted and we'll check it out when we're done. So anyway, hope you like this. It's first primary arms optic I've reviewed. Okay, they're not sponsoring any way. A friend of the channel gave this to me. He just bought it and a chance to then review it. And so we're going to do that. We're going to mount it on this 300 blackout and go hit the range. Welcome back in from the range. Decided right after the initial part of this video just to go ahead and hit the range. There's very few times we're going to see January 28th where I live to be 53 degrees. And so I went and hit the range. Now it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So here in cloudy at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, down in the valley it was pretty dark. And so that was the first impression I had of this optic, how bright it is and how good the glass was. It was pretty amazing. I mean, it was clear, sharp. The reticle was just clear as can be, even in a very low light condition. And I mean, it's very low light in those conditions where I shoot. And so that was surprising and nice. I didn't turn on the illuminated reticle at all. I just sort of left it where it was, it turned off and everything was clear and bright and I was able to see just fine. Well, that was nice. And then I went ahead and proceeded to sight in. And so this was the first sight in target. I put those 3 rounds in the same hole. Okay. And I'm trying to figure out where to put the chevron and just how to get that sight to line up where it should hit. And I put 3 in the hole. Well, then I made an adjustment on it and I put that one there and I made one to come back here. So that was fine. Then I made a slight elevation change on this target. And so that was better. And so that was pretty good. And then I went ahead and said, well, I meant to shoot 5 here and I shot 4. But I was doing okay, but I just didn't feel that I was doing my part on this. And then finally I move over here and I shoot this one, the last group, and there's 6 here in that. That was the first shot after shooting these. And then I sort of settled in and I ended up putting the chevron to where I had the point here and the edges of it would drop here. And so I could sort of pick a ring, put the point on it, and shot pretty good. I mean, this is not expensive ammo, right? This is really cheap ammo. This PPU 125 grain 300 blackout ammo. This is I think it was 2198 feet per second. So right at 2200. Whereas the equivalent of 7.62 by 39 with 123 grain bullet from the same company is about 2350. Now that's their published numbers. I didn't chronograph these. With it being so dark, I had to go fast. But anyway, so roughly the same performance, but there's a little bit of a difference there. Another 150 feet per second or so when you switch from 300 blackout to 7.62 by 39. So anyway, you know, not expensive ammo, but, you know, not shooting bad either. The gun will do a lot better than that, but I felt it wasn't, this I felt was sort of me getting used to the sight and getting dialed in and all. But here, I mean, once I shot this one, I felt these were really good. I was holding well, breathing well, on the trigger well, and not, you know, jerking or adding abnormal pressure from my hands and things like that. So that's pretty good performance. So from this point then, I went to shoot steel. And so first thing, this is 50 yards. Over to the left, and it may be a little hard to see in that video, but I have it there. There's a white 6-inch square, excuse me, 4.5-inch square target, steel target. And so I hit that, and that was nothing. I mean, basically, it's roughly the size of this, right? So hitting that with this kind of group was super easy. So I put 2 in that. Well, then I went to 100 yard. Now, the top of the chevron here is supposed to be your 100 yard zero when you look at the BDC for this rifle, or for this optic. And so I shot the 100 yards, and I was hitting pretty close, maybe slightly up. But that was fine. I mean, it was easy at 100, so I shot 2 at 100. Well, then I went to 2 to 200 on target, roughly the size of this paper. And that was super easy too. So what I did there, though, was the chevron has, see if I can find a picture. Yeah, here you go. So the chevron has these different levels of the point. So this is supposed to be your 0 for 100. This is supposed to be your 0 for 2, but I was shooting here. So the first time I went right over the target. And so the second time then I shot 2 here, and I thought, well, because I moved from the large target, which I couldn't miss, to a small target, which was about this high from there. And I was using the wrong part of the chevron. I was using this. So when I move it up to that, boom, I hit that too. So it was really just me learning this reticle and how it's set up. But the gun, I mean, the gun performed well, and the reticle is just really nice. I really am not, I don't have any optics like this. And say this is one loaned to the channel. I've never even considered these kind of things just because of the type of shooting I do. But here, if you're going to shoot steel and move, you know, transitioning between targets and things more rapid, and where you don't need to shoot little teeny bug holes, this is awesome. This sight is so clear. The reticle lights, if you need the illumination, really nicely. Bright green. I mean, it's just really, really nice. And so, not trying to sell it. I don't have any affiliation with Primary Arms or anything, but I'm impressed. I've never used one of their optics, and this is the first one. And this is, you know, not their cheapest optic, but it's really, really a good deal. So, if you want to do rapid acquisition, you know, maybe medium to short range to medium range sort of things, like, you know, up real close out to, you know, well, really up to 200 yards. I mean, this thing does a great job. It really does a good job. You shoot groups, you know, like this here at 100 or at 50 yards. 100 might be into here, right? But still, for an optic that really you don't have to fuss with, you don't have to just focus on anything, just always bright and super clear. That's a good deal. I think I'm really impressed. So I might go from, you know, hey, this red dot certainly does its job for me, but for a little more precision, 3x magnification, this does a better job. Now, this is 3 times more than that was too, catching that on sale. So, you know, it just depends on what you want to do. Mountain held up perfect. That was really well, really solid. No issues there. And so that was really good. So anyway, I thought you might see this. It was good to get out and exercise our new 300 blackout. I don't know if you remember from the previous before, but this has the LaRue MBT trigger. It's got a Palmetto State lower, so nothing real fancy there. And then a Faxon 300 blackout barrel. And it just shoots really well. I mean, excellent. And you kind of expect that when you have a really good trigger and a really good barrel. So anyway, I hope you like this. Primary Arms SLX Micro Prism, the 3X version of it. It gets a recommend. I don't know about durability. I'm not saying anything about durability, but just as far as the user goes, user interface, ease of use, clarity, and quality of the optic, it's really well done. Anyway, I hope you like this. If you do, give me a like and subscribe, and be looking for that 1,500 subscriber giveaway. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. I have another video we're going to release on that one too. A lot of stuff, and trying to pay back the people that have supported our channel a little bit.